My beloved, today you must know that there's someone who wishes to ask you for a second chance, who desires to plead for it. However, that person is perhaps not the first one that comes to your mind. It's someone deep down you know isn't good for you. Someone who has made you suffer their toxicity, lowering your vibrational and energetic state. Today, I want to share with you an important lesson about the people you allow back into your life. Because this is something all souls must learn on their journey. And the sooner you know it, the better. Because perhaps a part of you knows perfectly well that there are certain people whom you should have closed your doors to long ago. But another part of you remains attached to those kinds of people. That's why it's important to connect right now with your wisdom, and that's also why I'm sharing all this divine wisdom with you at this moment. I want you to understand that this is something that has happened to many other human beings before you. You are not the only one who has been through this situation. But the key to resolving it lies precisely in wisdom. I want to remind you of a verse from a very ancient teaching from the Bible. In Proverbs 16 verse 17, King Solomon's words are recorded, "Stay away from evil and you will have peace wherever you go." In this teaching, for many years it has been spoken about the importance of choosing your companions wisely, and above all, of keeping away from bad people, toxic people, and people who harm you. Through these words, I hope you find inspiration to understand that sometimes it is necessary to set certain boundaries, to say no to certain people, and to close some doors. Because when a toxic person asks you for a second chance, perhaps initially you may feel pity or compassion for that person. And that truly honors you. But you cannot dwell only on those feelings. You must also reflect on how that person affects your inner peace. Because as that verse states, by distancing yourself from bad people, you will find peace. Because where there is no evil, there is only good. I want you to understand that giving a second chance to someone who has repeatedly shown they do not value you can be too risky. You must remember that you owe nothing to anyone. I know stepping away from toxic people can be a very difficult decision, but with the help of your angels and your own wisdom, you can do it. Because even if you think it's not a big deal to open doors to some people, the truth is you always create energetic bonds with those around you. Through these connections, you exchange energy with everyone. That's why it's crucial for these connections to be balanced, to be a channel of harmony, and not a place where your energy leaks out, where it's stolen and destroyed. As you know well, some people exert too much pressure, squeeze too tightly, and make you feel incapable of moving. I'm referring to manipulative and blackmailing individuals. Because these people turn your energetic bonds into chains that completely oppress you. I want you to understand that you can free yourself from these toxic people and protect yourself from their negative effects. You are not obligated to give anyone a second chance just because they beg for it. I know this can be very challenging for you at times, But you must understand that you have the power to break free from the chains of those who drain your energy and lead you into a constant state of stress and anguish. You can do it, and you must do it, because if you don't, one day you'll realize you're trapped by the chains of those who want to control your life and prevent you from being free. It's never too late to free yourself from your chains. You just need to be aware that you can do it. You must open your mind and reprogram it towards liberation and your true self. You've been tied to the demands of others for a long time, hearing over and over that you can't. But if you strive to connect with your being, with your higher self, you will realize that you can and you must do it. Remember, this is a significant change in your life. Perhaps you've tried before, but now it's not just about trying, it's about truly doing it. It's about gathering all your strength, courage, and skills to break those chains. They made you believe you could never free yourself from them, or that if you tried, the consequences would be very negative. But you can do it. When you free yourself from the negative, you allow the positive to enter your life perfectly. The time has come to look beyond, to take flight, and to be who you really are. Remember, you won't be alone in this process. Your angels will be by your side, lighting your path when you firmly decide to release the chains of toxic people. It won't be easy, and there will be tougher moments than others, but with your willpower and courage, you can achieve it. They made you believe you should remain tied, and you believed it. You believed it so much that there came a point when you stopped trying to escape. This is completely normal. To help you understand better, let me tell you a story. Imagine that instead of being human, you are a butterfly. A radiant butterfly, with many colors, used to fly freely. But one day, you needed water, you needed to hydrate. It was urgent. And you found a container filled with fresh water. So without a second thought, you flew towards that container. But as you drank from that fresh water, you didn't realize that container was a trap. As soon as you entered, the doors of the cage closed behind you, and you were trapped. Now and before we continue, I invite you to subscribe and share our channel. Your support helps us to create more valuable content for you. You spent a long time trying to escape from there, but it was impossible. You felt grateful for the water, for the food provided by the cage owner. But you stopped flying. You were still a butterfly, but you no longer went out to fly, to observe the plants, to smell the flowers. Everything changed for you. And that's exactly what happens when you allow a toxic person to bind you with their chains. Because initially they may offer something good as fresh water. But then they prevent you from being who you are and doing what you know you must do. What that butterfly didn't know was that if it folded its wings together, it could perfectly escape from the cage. But it was always accustomed to keeping its wings spread. It had always done the same thing, and to escape this time, it needed to do something different. This same thing can happen in life. Because sometimes, you find yourself in complicated situations and you can feel defeated. But you must know that nothing and no one will change who you truly are. There will be people who act like that cage, tying you down with guilt, manipulation, and blackmail. However, the behavior of those people does not define your ability to fly or your ability to overcome difficulties. Remember that toxic people always have a plan in mind. Nothing is spontaneous for them, everything is related to selfish goals. They don't care about the consequences their actions may have on you. They will do everything possible to get what they want, even if it means hurting you. You must strive to see the true face of people, as toxic individuals can very effectively disguise their behavior and intentions. In fact, you can easily identify these people because they act differently depending on who they are with. Their behavior varies when they are alone with you versus when others are present. Gradually, they drain your energy, as they are energy thieves who cannot shine on their own. Two things happen with them. First, they need to feed off the light of others, and second, they cannot tolerate your own brilliance. Toxic people often approach specific individuals for a specific reason. It's not a coincidence that they choose certain people. They seek out good-hearted people, full of energy, with dreams and enthusiasm. They want to appropriate those qualities for themselves and extinguish them in others. Many toxic individuals are not aware of their behavior. They simply are that way and believe it's acceptable. In their minds, they are convinced they are acting correctly, but you know it's not true and that they are actually causing you harm. You must be careful because they bind you with their chains, and there comes a point where you feel completely subdued. For these kinds of people, it's never enough. They are never satisfied and always want more and more. Nothing seems to be right for them. They are like that cage that prevented you from flying. Behind all that behavior lies a hidden truth. Toxic people suffer greatly. They are immersed in feelings of self-disgust, anger, suffering, and pain. Of course, it's easier for them to lash out at others than to take responsibility for their own actions. Furthermore, there's another hidden truth behind their behavior. In some way, they envy you. As you know, envy generates a lot of negativity and transmits it towards the one who feels it. That's why toxic people won't hesitate to humiliate you, belittle you, diminish your worth, and hurt you in any way if it helps them dim your light and achieve their goals. If you're wondering if the person asking for a second chance is toxic, you should honestly answer these questions. Have they made you feel isolated or pushed you away from family and loved ones? Have they tried to change your way of thinking? Have their words made you feel less valuable or guilty? If you've reached the point where you no longer know your own opinion because they impose theirs at all costs, you may be realizing who is toxic and who is not. What's important now is that you free yourself from their chains. You must do something different, like the butterfly, to break free. Something that is different from what you've always done. Perhaps that something is respecting yourself, truly loving yourself, and valuing yourself. Not giving in to blackmail or manipulation. Now I ask you, are you willing to tune your mind to the melody of success and allow prosperity to flow to you? Today, I have left in the description a powerful tool that will help you and bring you closer to your happiness, peace, and tranquility. I invite you to get to know it. Open the doors to a future where success and prosperity are your daily reality. The opportunity you have today to change your life will never present itself in the same way again. Act today, go for the description and create the tomorrow you deserve. Blessings forever.